Hello and welcome, you sleek sensations. You're watching the Road to RugbyTown. That's right. The 14th edition of the RugbyTown Sevens returns to Infinity Park in Glendale, Colorado this year from August 21 to 23. I'm former USA Sevens player and World Rugby commentator Dallen Stanford. And today, one of the slipperiest eels to have ever played at the prestigious RugbyTown Sevens, winning the 2025 event with Heat Rugby. It's All Black Sevens sensation Jayden Keelan. Kia ora, my friend.
Kia ora. How are you?
Pal, listen, I want to say you're rocking that stash still. It's amazing. Where are we catching you now?
Yeah, the stash is still on. It looks good. Nah. I'm still with the All Black Sevens at the moment. Just got through a surgery in January. It happened in Cape Town, one of the last games of the round. So hopefully making a return. Hopefully Hong Kong, aiming for Hong Kong. The original plan was Hong Kong, but through some complications and stuff, we might be pushing, but yeah, won't be pushing the body to the fullest to get there. So
yes, I want to talk about the All Black Sevens, and we got to see you carve up in Dubai recently. You were phenomenal in that tournament and your team winning. Just first take me back to your debut. What was it like running out, representing your family name and representing your country?
I was like real proud, obviously, but at the same time, I was scared.
Yeah,
like another 20, 21-year-old would be. I was pretty daunting because I didn't actually, when I got my debut, I didn't actually get named in the original team. I got called over for Tim Mickelson, which is like crazy because he's like a legend as well. And yeah, so I got called over. I think I was out surfing, missed the calls from the manager. Ended up getting back, seeing like 30 missed calls. And then an hour later, I was on the plane to LA to make my debut, and then running out 2 or 3 days after I landed. So yeah, it was definitely like, I was proud as, but I was scared. But
that's amazing. I just love hearing the stories of, because again, you never know when it's going to happen. And some players, find international rugby later in their life. You found that at a young age, which is amazing. And to see you carve up in Dubai as well. Would you say that was one of your favorite memories then, representing the NZ Sevens?
Yeah, 100%. Winning a tournament is like, it's almost like an addiction that you just want to keep having, and that's why we're seeing this big competition on the World Series, because a team wins and then that feeling just never shakes out of their body, and then
yeah. Unbelievable. Okay, let's talk about RugbyTown Sevens. What was your impression? The first time you played was last year, in terms of the stadium, the event organization, and just the overall competition.
No, I thought the stadium and the field was like real good. The field was in unreal nick. It's better. It was 10 times better than some of the paddocks I played on in New Zealand. But yeah, and then all the organization around it was like unreal. It wasn't an hour ride to the stadium like some of the World Series is, so that was nice. And then the management for our team was on point. Like they had everything we needed. It was pretty good. And it was good. Really enjoyed it.
And then let's talk about the competition, because this is always an interesting, whenever you get to a select tournament, you don't know who you're going to face. And I counted roughly 85 internationals, some of them current, some of them past, but still like must have been a good experience for you, right?
Yeah, that was unreal. Like running out against teams, like I'd be looking at them in the because I didn't know any of the team sheets or anything, so I'm looking at dudes across me in the tunnel going, that's the bro from that's the bro I watched on TV. So I was kind of like, it was a little bit daunting, but it was like, that's what I'm here for. Like, I'm here to upskill myself, and I can't do that playing. Like I could do it playing in social, but the competitiveness that they bring to the table is like you can't really replicate it back home unless you're playing with the boys, and we're out of season at that stage. So
yeah, I want to talk about Heat Rugby, because in the past, Heat Rugby have had some very good players, but haven't gone further in the tournaments. This time round, your resume of the team and the bios were unbelievable. So talk about a diverse team. You had Fijian gold medalists, Semi Kunitani. You have a Blitzbok in your team, a Spanish international, Kenyan, some New Zealand flyers like yourself. So tell us about that. What is it like coming together with a team of, all-stars, and how do you get the chemistry and find that on-field connection?
Yeah, so we all have sort of an understanding of the game. Obviously, we all play it differently. Like Fijians have their Fijian flair, which is like you can't practice or train that. They're just raised that way. And then obviously the Spanish have their, they're fit as a fiddle. They got energy. They're fast. And then you've got the Box who are exactly the same, like pedigree, like type of dudes. And so when we all come together, we sort of just find an even ground where we can all express ourselves and make sure that we're all giving each other the best opportunities, I guess, to like express ourselves on the field. Because like the more fun that we connect off the field, the more fun connection we get on the field. So, like if you come into it with a mindset that, like the random, like, then it's going to translate onto the field. Whereas if you come in open-minded, good energy, like get around the boys, then like we did, then the game speaks for itself, really.
Yeah, you bring up such a key point, having fun. I think sevens is all about that. I know 15s is a little different setup, but sevens is a smaller group, connecting easier, which is really great. And like you said, you had good players, and so it was easier to gel. Take us back to that 2025 event. There was some amazing knockout games as well. Your team had some close games and some unbelievable tries. What was it like? What was it like winning the event? Obviously, you got $10,000 in the bank. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what was it like facing that top competition and winning it?
No, it was good. Like winning it was like unreal. It was like I did expect us to do well because we had such a good team on paper, but like it always comes like there's lots of good teams on paper around the world that in different sports as well, but sometimes it never projects onto the field. So but yeah, when we won it, I was kind of like I was pretty stoked for the boys as well. Like we all celebrated, a week together. It's what we've all been working for and putting our efforts towards. So yeah, and then just kind of the whole experience of winning was it was just a way to basically celebrate like the hard work that we all put in together.
Yeah, and the $10,000, did Coach Taylor Hardin run away with it, or did you see some of it?
I think he went on holiday to Hawaii or something.
Brilliant. Now, listen, I know you're in the midst of your recovery and rehab and more of a season still to come. Any thoughts about RugbyTown Sevens 2026? Will you be back to defend your title? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it depends. Depends on my body.
Yeah.
Depends on what goes on during the off season, because our New Zealand has our 15 season obviously goes in our season that the boys go play. So it really just depends on if my body holds up or not, and because so anything could happen. Could definitely be back to play.
Good. We'll leave it at that. Anything can happen. I like it.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Good. Now, listen, I want to ask you about one of your Heat teammates, Sebastian Job, that had actually a very bad injury during the tournament, but recovered and ended up playing really well for the Blitzboks of late. Is there a bit of banter between? Because, of course, you meet every now and again at big tournaments. What's that like?
Yeah, 100%. Like, even with Semi, like, even though he hasn't played in a while, he still, like, epitomizes the Fiji Sevens team. So, like, there's always a bit of banter between all the different countries, especially when we meet for tournaments like this, because there's about 2 or 3 like tournaments where we all come together. Well, not the same people, but we sort of mix and mingle at some stage, and there's always a bit of banter, like, oh, like the style you guys play, it sucks compared to our style. But I mean, Fiji could just hold their medals up,
Yeah, so. Exactly. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, good. Listen, before I let you go, just final thoughts on RugbyTown Sevens. I know you mentioned before, it's actually such a high level that you were excited to come across to the US and play, because there aren't many, let's be fair, big international tournaments these days left.
No, that's what I was thinking about. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 around that. And sometimes, they're hard to get into because of all the complications with, different players from different countries, different passports and all that. But no, RugbyTown Sevens was unreal for just like upskilling, I reckon, and getting around like different Sevens players from around the world, and not it being such like a big like mission to get there. It was like, it was good.
Amazing. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me, Jayden, on the road to RugbyTown. The past year, we had 25 countries represented, 85 international players, coaches, and commentators. We can't wait to see everybody for the 2026 event where Heat Rugby will be defending its title, and that stash might be back.